So we see here the healing of the blind beggar named Bartimaeus in Jericho. And Mark wrote this in his gospel, not just to show that Jesus could heal the blind, for it was written for a specific purpose. And that is to teach his disciples. The disciples were with Jesus already for 3 years, saw his miracles, signs and wonders, heard him preach, and yet they still do not believe. So Jesus was using this blind beggar as an example, an example of faith. This blind beggar, although he was blind physically, and yet he has faith in Jesus, that Jesus could heal him. Okay, and that's what we it's also for us. We've known Jesus for quite some time now, and yet there are times wherein we're still blind. We need to ask for Jesus to give us that sight back, so that we will be able to see. In our family, we're not perfect. There's this dysfunctionality in our family, especially on the side of my mother. Okay, there's a lot of infightings among siblings about the inheritance that was given by my maternal grandparents. Infightings was intense that it even went to the court. Okay, my mom was very sick, COVID, and she passed away. She only has one remaining sibling. The others have passed away already, and there's a lot of conflict between my mom and this other sibling, my aunt. Her name is Rosa, and we didn't know if she knew about my mom contracting COVID and dying, but we didn't hear from her. And yesterday, we learned that she's very sick right now, and she's by herself. No husband, no children. Okay, and I'm just honored by very very inspired by my siblings in the Philippines, because they could have just ignored her for what she did to my mom, right? We could just ignored her, and yet I was just very inspired that they took it to heart to take care of her right now, bring her to the hospital, find a caregiver to take care of her. And right now, at this moment, they're praying over her right now. And it's not just my siblings, but my other relatives. And I think the Lord is using, my Aunt Rosa right now, who's very ill, to bring our family, especially on the maternal side, to come together and pray and express our love for her. Because we could just easily be blinded by resentments, by what she did, by all the conflicts, right? We could just easily ignore her, see her as a burden. But no, I'm just inspired that, we're taking this opportunity to see Jesus in her and show our love for her. Just very inspired. And it's also for us, right? As I've said, do we see the crosses that we experience as a form of purification? Do we see the trials in life to teach us to learn to trust in the Lord? Do we see our weaknesses as a humbling experience and teach us to rely more on the Lord? Do we see the bad things that are happening in our lives, that the Lord promises that good things will come out of that for those who believe in Him? Do we see Jesus in the poor, in the sick, in the addicted, in the alienated? Do we see? Do we have eyes to see? If we don't, let's imitate the faith of this blind beggar Bartimaeus to call out, "Son of David, have mercy on me." And Jesus would ask you, "What do you want me to do for you?" And tell him, "Jesus, I want to see."